it is my pleasure to welcome in the San Francisco 49ers, George Kittle, here on ESPN Radio. Good morning, George.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
Well,
I would have gotten that question right. I definitely knew it was New York.
All kidding aside, you honestly would have gotten that right?
No chance.
Me neither. No, and look, it's your job to catch touchdowns. It's my job to know these things, and I would not have gotten that one right. So, okay, you make me feel a little better that I wouldn't have had it either. I hate to start with the bad news, but let's start with this, because I hear as we get to Super Week, I have all these guys on the show, on the TV show, and they're all talking about their experiences, and the guys who never made it, or even worse, the guys who got to the Super Bowl and lost, talk about the excruciating experience of that. So here we are now, basically 52 weeks removed from you playing in the Super Bowl. How would you describe the emotions you feel now, a year removed, having gotten to the biggest game in the world and come up just short a year ago?
Let's see. I'd say, definitely disappointed you didn't, win the game, because you worked your whole life to, play football, be the best football player you can be, and play in the Super Bowl, which is the highest stage, and losing is never fun. But at the same time, optimistic, because I feel like I'm a part of a team that can get back to that Super Bowl and win it. And, really just happy that I got to play in it and got to play on the highest stage. But definitely not satisfied at all with that. But just want to get back and be able to play in that again and get the win this time.
See, I think that's a great perspective to have. And I've always felt, and look, I can't speak to this with any personal experience, obviously, but I feel like to get there, obviously your dream in life is to win the championship, but to get there in and of itself is a great accomplishment. And I would hope that, and look, I know you hope you're going to go on and win 5 of these things, but that you can look back with pride one way or the other on what your team accomplished last year in making it to that game.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I'm pretty sure we won 15 games last year, and I think that's pretty good for an NFL season. So
it is.
I mean, it's the thing, like, I think we had such a fantastic season, and obviously it didn't cap off the way we wanted it to cap off, but I still enjoyed the time that I got to play with all those guys. Like, that was a hell of a run to send Joe Staley out after he retired, and Garrett Selleck, my tight end, who also retired. And, obviously, like I said, we wish we would have won, but, I mean, it's still a great season to celebrate. And, I think we had one of the best defenses of all time last year as well. Like, they were pretty fantastic as well. So, overall, not happy with the outcome, but definitely enjoyed the entire process.
Greeny and George Kittle from the 49ers with me here on the Goodyear Hotline, helping you discover the road ahead. Goodyear, more driven. And I will tell you up front, George, as one who has loved the game, going back to the 70s, you play my favorite position. You are the latest in a long line of these all-time great players going back to John Mackey and Mike Ditka, but then, through Dave Casper and Kellen Winslow and all the rest of that. The pass-catching tight end who also blocks, I think, is my favorite position in the National Football League. Growing up, who did you want to emulate? Who were your favorite tight ends as you were growing up playing the game?
Let's see. Growing up playing the game, I'd have to say Shannon Sharp was really fun to watch just because he could do about anything.
Mm-hmm.
I was a Midwest guy, and I grew up watching Dallas Clark. I had season tickets at Iowa. I went to every single game.
Mm-hmm.
I watched his 2 final seasons when he played tight end, when he won the Mackey. And so watching him, I just always wanted to be, the blue collar guy that just works his tail off, and then, takes advantage of the opportunity when he gets it. And so watching Dallas Clark was, one of my favorite players to watch. And then as I grew up a little bit, watching Gronk was always really fun for me to watch, just because of how dominant he was, especially that 2012 season. That was really fun for me. And then in college, I watched Travis Kelce dominate too. And so just growing up and then now being able to play with those guys, it's kind of a surreal feeling. And get compared to them too, it's kind of crazy. But just enjoying the process. But I really enjoy all good tight end play.
Let me ask you about Gronk, because that is a guy who I think you could make an argument is the greatest ever to do it. That you could defend that argument if you wanted to. I don't want to have it here, but you could defend that argument as you watch him. And again, he's still doing it. He will be out there on Sunday playing in the Super Bowl. But how would you describe what has made him such a great player over the years?
I mean, just watching him, I think his ability to do everything is what makes him great, and he makes the big plays all the time. He did it in New England. He's doing it in Tampa. But really, my favorite part about Gronk is when he has 0 targets and 0 catches, and then he dominates in the run game. And that's my favorite game. And I remember the last time New England won it, they played the Chargers at home. It was like a freezing game, and I think he had like 2 catches, but he just physically dominated the D-line all day, and it was just so fun to watch that. And, you know, when you have a tight end that has a physical presence, it changes up everything that you can do in the run game and in the pass game, because now they have the linebackers and safeties have to step up a little bit on the play action. And, you know, the influence that Gronk has in the game, even when he's not catching the ball, is an incredible. It's like the defense has to pay attention to him every single play. So I just love watching that aspect of him.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.